Welcome to the Neon City Daily Direct News Upload. I'm your host Norks. Last week we criticised AAA developers for the part they play in the normalisation of releasing half-finished and buggy games. In a well-timed coincidence, there's drama playing out right now on the Battlefield 2042 subreddit over this exact topic, where fans are up in arms again over the current state of the game. We make no secret of our own disappointment with Battlefield 2042, having all enjoyed the beta, only to be left feeling bitterly disappointed by what felt like an entirely different game come release time. We're also not the biggest fans of EA, who for years now have been releasing subpar quality games littered with shitty microtransactions and with little to no post-release support. Given the amount of money we spend on these products, it's only right that as consumers we make ourselves heard when we feel a game doesn't live up to expectations or simply fails to deliver on pre-launch promises. But it's how we go about communicating our concerns and frustrations that's important. For the second time in 2 years, EA has had to come out trying to quell the nerd rage.
Recently, we have witnessed increased harassment towards members of our development team.
The official Battlefield social media writes.
Across all of our Battlefield studios, we are open to constructive feedback and criticism about our games. But to maintain a healthy and open dialogue with our community, we will protect our teams and people from toxicity and harassment. We believe this has no place inside our game or within the Battlefield community. We want to remind our players that through our EA user agreement and Battlefield community guidelines, we will take appropriate action to uphold these values. As a community, we play the objective together.
The statement is signed off by all 4 EA-owned studios involved in the development of 2042: DICE, Ripple Effect, Ridgeline Games, and Electronic Arts. We agree that toxicity has no place in Battlefield, or any other game for that matter. We also don't condone any harassment, implied violence, or doxing of developers, or even gaming executives for that matter. There are ways to go about communicating your thoughts and criticisms. But over on the Battlefield 2042 subreddit, there's nothing but examples on how not to do it. As gamers, we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard. As previously suggested in last week's video, letting your wallet do the talking would be the ideal way to get the message across. But failing that, sure, go and tell developers what you think somewhere on the internet they may also lurk. Just be respectful about it. These are just games after all, and the creators are humans too. Don't let the anonymity offered to you by the internet fool you into thinking you have a right to be a dickhead. Tenacious D, greatest band in the world, have released a song about video games. In just 1 minute and 35 seconds, Jack Black and Kyle Gass have recorded the biggest hit of 2023. The whole song is an attempt by Black to justify his love for video games while having less and less time to play them as he ages. Something we can all relate to, I'm sure. Hot off the back of his starring role as Bowser in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, where he delivered yet another banger, Peaches. Jack's love for video games is all too evident. Just add it to the list of reasons why we love him. Casually browsing the Australian classifications website, a totally normal thing for a person to do, we noticed that Payday 3 received an MA 15+ rating on May the 12th. Starbreeze acquired the rights to the series in 2017, and lovers of the crime-centric co-op shooter have been waiting patiently for the third entry ever since. Despite now being rated MA 15+ in Australia, there's still no word on when the game will be released. Considering this news though, we hope it's soon. The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom dropped this week, and if you were expecting good reviews, you'll be pleased to know that the latest entry in the long-running and much beloved series was received extremely well by most critics. The consensus is that it took what worked in Breath of the Wild and meaningfully expanded and improved on its predecessor where it counted. It was reviewer Gfinity, however, that found itself the band apart, scoring the game 6 out of 10, saying,
"If you've yet to step foot in the open world of Hyrule, Tears of the Kingdom is the best way to experience it. with just enough new ground to keep things interesting. But if you didn't gel with the 2017 release, the story alone might not be worth the second attempt.
We must commend Gfinity for being brave enough to publish a 6 out of 10 review on a game that the overwhelming critical consensus is, it's perfect. Gfinity's reviewer is right though. If you didn't click with Breath of the Wild and there were some people that didn't, then Tears of the Kingdom won't do a lot to bring you around. Just watching the trailers can make this very clear. This is obviously a game with little interest in appealing to those that weren't in love with the original. It's important to note though that their review was not overly negative, just relayed a very valid point and some useful information to those still on the fence after not really enjoying Breath of the Wild. Two important things to remember. 1. Someone has already speedrun their way through the game, beating it in 94 minutes. 2. The game, huge in scale, takes up less disk space than any Call of Duty patch from the last 3 years. The Server Slam event for Diablo 4, something we touched on last week, has been and gone, and by all accounts was a huge success for Blizzard. Our personal experiences were all great, with no crashes, disconnects or server queues, considering those servers slammed and up to the task ahead of them come launch day, which is when, you may be asking? Launch is on June 5th, or 6th depending on the time zone and what version you pre-ordered. And for the first time in a long time, we can genuinely say we're excited for a Blizzard game launch. With the bitter taste of the Battlefield 2042 saga still in our mouths though, we'll remain cautiously optimistic that the game at least lives up to the quality and potential on display in the beta. If you're still unsure whether you want to drop your hard-earned cash on the game though, we have a solution. Drop by the Neon City Daily Discord and hit up the giveaways channel, where you can enter to win a copy for yourself. Even if you've already pre-ordered, we recommend still entering the giveaway, as the digital codes are all fully transferable. Full terms and conditions available on our website. Harry Potter Hogwarts Legacy, the open-world action role-playing game developed by Avalanche Software, has been delayed until November for the Switch version to undergo further optimization. Originally planned for release in July, the delay comes as Avalanche looks to ensure the best possible experience for players on the Switch, which is less powerful than even the base PlayStation 4. While some studios have cancelled Switch ports due to technical limitations, the success of impressive ports like The Witcher 3 and Nier Automata on the platform offers hope. If Avalanche can optimize the Switch version, it will be one of the platform's most impressive technical achievements yet. Hogwarts Legacy has already released to strong reviews on other platforms and has earned over $1 billion, though it remains controversial due to its connection to creator J.K. Rowling's anti-transgender views. It's unfortunate to hear that Ubisoft has laid off 60 employees from its North Carolina and Newcastle offices. It seems that the customer service department was the most impacted. The company claims that the cuts are due to organizational changes and that they remain committed to supporting players worldwide. That's great and all, but several now former employees have taken to Twitter to confirm that they were not given advance notice about the cuts. Pretty scummy, if you ask us. This news comes after Ubisoft's CEO Yves Guillemot addressed an upcoming restructuring in a company-wide Q&A in January, which prompted a call for a strike at the company's Paris studio. Ubisoft has faced several challenges over the past few years, including delaying Skull and Bones for the 6th time, cancelling 3 unannounced games, and underperforming titles like Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope, and Just Dance 2023. The company has admitted that these delays and cancellations were necessary because they were making too many games at once. Don't know about you, but we feel like customer service is probably one of the last places Ubisoft should be cutting resources. That about does it from us. Be sure to tune in to the Neon City Daily podcast, where there's a 50-50 chance we'll discuss some of this in more detail. If you want to join in on the discussion yourself, as well as share increasingly disturbing memes with fellow NCD community members, hit up our Discord. All the relevant links can be found on our website, www.neoncitydaily.com.au. I've been Norks, and this has been your Neon City Daily direct news upload. Good night. We really are getting to like the eat the rich portion of this show, aren't we? Like just historically, usually when it gets to this point, we riot and we eat the rich. Like there's heads coming off, there's shit. Someone's going to tell us to eat cake soon and we're going to fucking lose it.